This speech is my recital. I think it's very vital to rock
around.
That's right.
On time.
It's tricky. It's the tight.
Here we go. It's tricky to rock around. That's right. On time. It's tricky. It's tricky. 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 It's tricky to rock around. That's right. On time. It's tricky. Tricky.
The tallest blade of grass is the first to be cut by the lawnmower. I dedicate this rant to the early adopters, to the brave who step out from the status quo, to the ones that try instead of staying on the sidelines and critiquing, to the organizations that stepped out from the pack only to be cut down by other organizations, to the great ideas for social change squelched by misinformed elected representatives. If you have anything worth doing, chances are you have naysayers. I have seen it so often over the past decade, I've come to expect that when naysayers show up, it's a sign the right thing is happening. Maybe people try to cut the tallest blade out of fear. You go out on a limb, and you attract attention to the mediocrity of others. Then others will wonder why they aren't capable of doing more. Maybe people try to cut the tallest blade out of empathy. Perhaps they once tried to reach out in a new direction and felt the pain of being nonconformist, by being ridiculed by others, and now tried to shield other organizations from the same pain. Maybe people try to cut the tallest blade out of jealousy. They always wished they could have done it. They just didn't have the guts. If ever you step out of the norm, expect someone to tell you that it can't be done, at least not where you live, or that it isn't worth doing. Maybe they think it takes too much work, requires too many resources, will be too long of a change process. It's a great idea, just not worth doing right now, or not worth doing at the expense of upsetting others. Also, follow these steps. Step number 1. Usually, if you create an idea or action worthy of naysayers, it actually starts with wild enthusiasm. Awesome! Let's end homelessness. This will then be followed by step 2, bubble bursting. That's when you hear things like, that was an unrealistic idea, and besides, that so-called evidence people talked about proving it can be done well, have you heard about that one paper that talked about how all of the evidence was maybe not the way some people said it was? Step 3. Once bubbles are popped, expect there to be turmoil. You'll know you've hit turmoil when you hear things like, we started changing our programs around, but now we don't know what to do, and no one knows what to do, and all the homeless people are confused. Is that what we want? Step 4, turmoil will give way to panic, because instead of seeking information or counsel on how to fix what's going on, people will turn their attention on needing someone to blame. You'll hear things like, this program is totally not working. We're person-centered. And all this change stuff doesn't let us serve people the way we always have. This will lead to step 5, panic, which will stir up that witch hunt. And the witches, well, they may leave town. That's when you'll hear talking behind people's backs. See, now all the people that started this are dropping like flies. And that will lead to step 6, the innocent people, also known as the tallest blades, who decided to grow in the first place will be ostracized or punished, sometimes professionally, sometimes personally. That's when you hear really nasty things like, I always thought she was a pushy bitch anyway, so I'm kind of glad she's gone so things can get back to normal. And that will be followed by step 7, non-participants and naysayers, the short to medium-sized blades of grass, will be promoted to positions of prominence, or they will celebrate that they outlasted the tallest blades. That's when you'll hear things like, it's a fad we see every few years. A new idea comes along, but then people see it as a bad idea. Then we can go back to about our business. Someday people will realize that we have been right all along. We must be doing something right if we're the only ones that always seem to be around while others come and go. The tallest blade phenomenon has no shortage of situations in the pursuit of increasing housing options or ending homelessness or addressing any social justice issue. For example, when elected officials lament the lack of affordable housing, but go on to suggest it has to be in some different neighborhood or different community, and it has to be paid for by some other unseen taxpayer or private money, I fear for the tallest blades trying to create housing options anyway. When people who have never operated a Housing First program or never read a peer-reviewed piece of research on it saying that it works, and then these same people say it never works, I fear for the tallest blade in those communities that are trying to implement Housing First with fidelity to practice. When people say that permanent supportive housing is too destructive to community at large and just creates Wild West, they're cutting down the tallest blade, doing all they can to make it work, not in the right ways, but to work against those who are trying to make it work. I could go on. Let me just say this. Here's to you, tall blades. I will water and fertilize you whenever you want. I will distract and make dull the lawnmower as best I can. Stand proud, tall blades, for you are the gorgeous reason for us to keep doing this work and inspire the rest of us to grow up tall with you. Besides, if you stay tall and proud, it's entirely possible the rest of the blades will finally catch up to your height of excellence. Forget they themselves were once smaller blades, and tell anyone that'll listen that the grass has always been this long.
This speech is my recital. I think it's very vital to rock
around.
That's right.
On time.
It's tricky. It's the tight.
Here we go. It's tricky to rock around. That's right. On time. It's tricky. It's tricky. 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 It's tricky to rock around.